Hi everybody, it's your girl Majesty, and we are back for another video. And we gotta talk about this Bia versus Cardi B situation, which apparently is not a Bia versus Cardi B situation because it's never nobody versus Cardi B. It's always the machine. And this is what I want to talk about. Why can't people have a problem with Cardi B and admit that they are having a problem with Cardi B? No, it's never like, oh no, I don't have a problem with her. It's with the machine. So let's see what Bia just said. The reason why she isn't responding to Cardi B's diss track, Pretty and Petty, anytime soon. In Bia's words, this isn't even about her. This is really about real artists, like artists that get up and go to the studio and care about the creative into their work and have limited resources. I'm speaking for them. This is not even about her anymore. This is like I'm anti-machine. Okay, let's talk about it. We gotta talk about it. Since when? So now Bia is anti-machine. I just find very interesting that one artist like Bia will say that she's going against the machine. I mean, which machine? Because Bia is an artist from a record label, so she has a record label too. It's not like she's an independent artist with the way she apparently is trying to sound. She has a label behind her. She had a huge cosign on her career from like the biggest female rapper. But what I think is crazy is the lack of self-awareness. Because the way Bia talk about Cardi B, it's like you would think that her music is extremely deep, political or something. You would think she'd been writing songs that you would listen and you would be able to change your perspective on what is happening in Gaza or something. Like seriously, because the way these people talk, it make you feel like, and it's not just about beer. This is bigger than beer. A lot of artists, the way they will talk on interviews, will make me feel like, wow, if I didn't know your music, I would think it was so deep. I'm sorry for the honesty, but it's like you are making dance songs that are mostly to be played at the club. Just like Cardi B. I know Cardi B is not exactly an artist that is lyrical, that she's making super deep music, but what's the huge difference for Bia? Like, what did I miss? Because sometimes when she talk about her own work, she will talk like she's doing something so deep, and I'm gonna be like, where? Like seriously, because I've heard a lot of her singles. I heard her last single. And then when you watch her interviews now, and she's talking about her thing with Cardi B, she will come from this place that's like, oh no, because I operate in a whole other frequency, because I just spread my message. And I'm like, what is the message? What did I miss? Because she would talk about herself, and it's almost like because she's talking about Cardi B, she would try to sound like, oh no, because what I do is something completely different. Because if she admits to herself that what she does is exactly the same thing, you are trying to make songs to play at the club. It's not the difference. The difference is that Cardi B succeeded at it. And the whole thing about the machine, like, aren't you a record label artist too? Who had huge cosign before too? Literally, the difference is that one was able to succeed and the other wasn't. I think this whole narrative of machine started, of course, with Nicki Minaj saying that her problem was not with Cardi B, it was with Atlantic Records. What at this point is almost like a pattern, because if you pay attention, Nicki said that she didn't have a problem with Cardi B herself. It was with Atlantic. And then when she had a problem with Megan, she said she didn't have a problem with Megan. She has a problem with Roc Nation. And just the other day, she was talking about TDE, and she was sounding like she has a problem with TDE. Which people were like, why does she have a problem with TDE? Well, apparently she has a problem with every record label. But I just find very interesting because we all know who's coming. We all, like anybody who likes female rap and is paying attention to the scene, we all know who's coming. We all know who's probably, that most of us are betting and are really believing that it will be the next big thing. We all know it's Doechii. And it's almost like, I don't know, but for me, it really seems like she's already preparing her next problem. Because everybody was confusing, like, what happened between Nicki and TDE? Why does she has a problem with TDE? And I'm like, it's very interesting because at this point we have a pattern. She didn't have a problem with Cardi. It's not that she's going after the new girls who are extremely successful at the mainstream. No. She didn't have a problem with Cardi. She had a problem with Atlantic. She didn't have a problem with Meg. She had a problem with Roc Nation. And now she has a problem with TDE. So I'm like, interesting. Let's see what happens next. Let's see if she's able to gracefully just applaud another black girl on top, another female rapper on top. If we will have, somebody else doing great numbers. We can just watch one more time. Another chance. With all the potential of Doechii, I definitely think Nick will have another chance to show grace to another female. I just find interesting this whole anti-machine, all of the sudden anti-machine thing from Bia, because since when? I mean, we do have artists that are anti-machine, and even if they sign with record labels, we know they are anti-machine. They operate on a different level, and they are taking care of the energy. We have the J. Cole's walking around, Rhapsodies, whatever. But it's not like Bia is this underground lyricist, so different, so opposite to whatever Cardi B is doing. If you really pay attention to what she's doing, it's like, I don't know. It's almost like this huge difference on the content of what they do is only on her mind. Literally, the only difference is one is succeeding, the other one is not. And some people were trying to say like, oh, the writing, but then we are basing this on rumors. I'm not on the studio with Cardi B, but me personally, I have a very hard time to believe that she doesn't write. And the reason for it is because her lyrics literally sound anything that she would say on a random Tuesday on an Instagram live, and she just made it rhyme. And I know she has helped to write her lyrics, but I'm not mad at this because last time I checked, even Nicki Minaj, who is somebody that I really respect her pen game, there are a lot of people on the credits alongside her name. So why will I be mad when it's somebody else? I cannot defend Bia based on rumors. And when I analyze like the facts, which is the work of both of them, it's not like I'm seeing a super underground lyricist completely opposite to what Cardi does going against her. Like, no, that's just not the situation. Which seems to be like almost the narrative that she's trying to paint with those interviews. And I'm just getting really confused. It's like, I'm just seeing the clips of these interviews that she talk about Cardi, and I'm like, what is she talking about? Why is she talking about herself like she's Queen Latifah or something? Like, does she even listen to her own music? I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me. But let me know if you agree or disagree with me. We can disagree respectfully. That's okay. But thank you very much for listening, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.